Hey everybody, happy Football Freaky Friday from the podcast. This is the daily and it's the bold prediction version. That's Bill Landis and Jeremy Birmingham. I am Austin Ward. Ohio State and Penn State tomorrow at noon. A huge Big Ten battle. How's it going to go?
Odd, like every game
Yeah,
that Penn
super
State
weird.
does. I think that's the way I'm expecting it.
I nailed that.
Nice call. We've proven, though, that these mics are pretty good about not picking up extemporaneous noises, so I'm not going to make a comment about the crowd noise now being piped in to Ohio State's practice. What I'm going to say...
Why are they even practicing on Friday morning? Nobody knows.
Yeah, it's weird, but normally it's the best Fridays in football. Instead, we're talking BPs, bold predictions, and I'm going to go first and say Julian Fleming is going to score 3 touchdowns against the Penn State Nittany
That was the
Lions.
most obvious one. Yeah, okay.
I don't
1, 2,
know
3.
if 3 was obvious.
Julian Fleming, triple banger,
Triple ding dong.
triple bang bang.
Describe them in intimate detail, please.
They are all going to be thrown from C.J. Stroud and caught by Julian Fleming.
What will the reception from the Penn State home crowd be?
The first one will be a loud boo. The second one will be a resigned dang it, and the third one will be a louder boo because Fleming will do something at that moment. Like, I don't know, like a Hulk Hogan or something, just to bring it all in.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns for Julian Fleming.
Okay.
I like that. I had a Julian Fleming prediction in mind as well. I wasn't going to do it first.
Was it about 3 touchdowns?
No, I was
Then you
thinking.
can still use
I
it.
was thinking more like 2, but I'll pivot. I'll think of something else.
You said they can't hear the
Oh,
noise.
I can hear it, though.
Yeah, they're playing Zombie Nation, which you'll hear a lot. Penn State is going to return a kickoff for a touchdown in this game.
Agreed.
Which will make it weird. I and Berm, I think both of us are going to end up picking a closer game. I think the reason it ends up being closer is because Ohio State's suspect special teams, more specifically their suspect kick return coverage or kickoff coverage, comes back to bite them in this game. They have allowed 5 kickoff returns of 30 yards or more this year. That's a very high number in a sport where people just don't return kicks anymore. And I think one gets out for Penn State that keeps the final score closer than it probably should be.
Penn State's run defense is bad. A lot of teams are going to struggle to
Can you
stop
prove
Michigan.
that?
Yeah.
Are there any statistics that you can point to
There's
that
a
would
lot.
indicate?
I don't want to get bogged down in the minutia of the numbers. I'm going to stick with the eye test. And, well, I guess I'll use one number, 418. That's how many yards that Michigan ran for. And I know that they're a pretty good running team. And I know that last Saturday against Iowa, Ohio State didn't really look like one. But I'm going to take the larger sample size for Ohio State. I'm going to take a motivated TreVeyon Henderson and maybe a pissed off Ohio State offensive line after what happened last week. They're going to have seen what happened to Penn State a couple weeks ago, and they're going to make hay on the ground. TreVeyon Henderson is going to run for 235 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Wowzer. That's a big one.
It is.
Big day.
That is a big number. Yeah.
Drill down 3 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Wow.
TreVeyon Henderson's going to score 3 touchdowns in the first
3
quarter?
TreVeyon Henderson touchdowns in the first
that's
quarter.
a good drill down.
All right. I'm going to just say, if you get that one right, I will never doubt your rule on this show again.
As you shouldn't.
I like the prediction of an early onslaught because I think there's going to be there's a noon kick in Beaver Stadium. I think it's going to be a late arriving crowd. Eventually, I think it'll feel like what Beaver Stadium is supposed to feel like, but there's going to be a window there in the beginning, I think, for Ohio State to pounce on them.
Bill, I would like for you to explain to my colleague, who's for years come up with this theory that this would never happen. The atmosphere in the horseshoe at noon is horrible.
It is.
This would
Unless-
never happen
it-
at Beaver Stadium. It's rocking.
It's the atmosphere at noon in Ohio Stadium is horrible unless they're playing a good team.
And I said to you, that's the case literally everywhere.
But what you're saying is that Penn State is playing a good team, therefore the atmosphere will still be good.
But that's not what Bill said. He said they're not even going to show up till the second
No,
quarter.
man, it's like Halloween weekend. People are going to be partying on Friday night. They're not getting in there for a noon kick.
They just had a whiteout last week.
Yeah.
And so finally, America, Berm will have to admit that he was wrong.
Maybe.
He won't.
I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong.
That's true.
Sort
That's
of,
true.
Sort of my whole
That
life.
is one of your best qualities.
Yeah, I've been wrong many times in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be wrong about this,
Uh-oh.
however. And it will be a 4 touchdown game for TreVeyon Henderson.
Okay.
Just kidding. No, well, you guys think that I think the Buckeyes are going to score 56 points this weekend? That's louder than it was earlier. They're ramping up the crowd noise, so I'm going to ramp up my voice just in case. C.J. Stroud throws for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. 400 yards, 5 touchdowns against one of the better secondaries that the Buckeyes will face all year long.
400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
You've spent all week saying how nervous you are this game's going to be close. Are you suggesting that the silver bullets are going to unravel on Saturday?
I'm suggesting we're going to see weird things happen.
Okay. Just trying to get a drill down, some information on you.
I am going to be honest with you. I know that this weekend should be a game where the Buckeye running game comes in with something to prove. I just don't feel like it's going to happen. I just am expecting the Buckeyes to have to lean on C.J. Stroud in the passing game. That's just.
I think if that's the case, it could be maybe more interesting than I'm anticipating, because I think Penn State's pass defense is pretty good. My second bold prediction is that Ohio State's going to score 4 touchdowns, and all 4 are going to be 40-plus yard plays. Manny Diaz, a defensive coordinator at Penn State, likes to gamble, likes to send a lot of guys. He does so, I think, at the expense of being a sound defense, and they give up a lot of big plays, or they had the potential to give up a lot of big plays. I think that's how Ohio State gets its work done on Saturday. I think it can be hard again to score in the red zone against this team. It was last year. It was last week. I think some of that creeps up again, but it won't matter because they'll bomb it on them a couple times. Let's say 2 40-plus yard touchdowns for Julian Fleming. Good Lord. A 40-plus yard touchdown for Trevion Henderson, and 1 for Emeka Egbuka.
I hope that our equipment is doing
no way.
We're going to find out.
Absolutely no way.
All of this could be moot because we may have to redo this whole thing.
Doing a great job, because we needlessly challenged ourselves to be out here in the elements, just like Ohio State will have to on Saturday. Maybe there'll be a completely different recording for you, and this will just be for me saying it to Bill and Verm. But it doesn't matter. There's going to be a Sean Clifford gift to the Ohio State secondary, and Tanner McAllister will take it back to the house. He's just always in the right place at the right time. Jim Knowles uses him in a lot of creative ways, has throughout his career. Sean Clifford is a little careless with the football at times, and he will rue the day that he didn't identify Tanner McAllister and the right coverage. Pick 6 coming for Tanner McAllister. We're going to take a break, maybe see if we can get Quinn Temple to turn off the audio inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center over there. And then we're going to maybe sneak in a couple interviews or 2. Who knows? But we're going to take a break.
Anything's possible on Freaky Friday.
All right, taking a break from some of the other shenanigans for a different version on Freaky Friday. It's Julian Fleming, a longtime friend of mine and Berm's, and now a touchdown machine for Ohio State. Long time coming. He's healthy, making a big impact. See you in a couple minutes of his time, but we promised not to really bug him about football. So, Julian, I want to know how many wristbands you're up to here with these pink or plastic causes that you want people to bring awareness to that you've got here. Like you're loaded down. How many you got now?
I do. This one's actually from the opening, and this was a kid. I think he ended up having a cerebral palsy, and it was just it's called Negu, Never Ever Give Up. This one's Humble Over Hype. This one's Fight Like a Girl. This is a girl who was, I think she was born without I don't know how many ribs it ended up being, but it was, obviously a very, very big deficiency for her. And this one Set the Expectation, and that was a lady that came in and talked to us about, a situation that she had been in with domestic violence and sexual assault. So, obviously it was a big thing, and it still stuck with me. I still remember the whole story. I'm not going to sit here and tell it because obviously it's pretty graphic and wasn't.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it was a crazy situation. And then the other one is just changing the narrative, and that was just another one about, sexual harassment and things like that. And, having people think of us as football players. It was really just like changing how people think of us, and not just, football players, whatever. We're people too. So those are like the main ones that really mean the most.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been important to you, the stuff that's not just the football. How do you determine which ones? How much attention are you paying to that? I know that you get into a season, you don't have a lot of time for other stuff, but clearly you want at least some of those reminders with you and on you.
Oh, honestly, I've never taken any of them off ever since I got them. So obviously they do mean a lot to me, and they've been on here for probably 3 years straight, and they've never come off. So I don't think I'll ever take them off unless they get broken or something bad happens. But yeah, they're definitely staying on for now.
Has it felt like it's been 3 years? How much of you feel like you've changed since? We don't need to rehash your recruitment. We've all been through that. You've already done that a lot of other times in the Woody this week. This 3-year process for you has not always been easy. How do you feel like you've changed since you got here?
The answer to the first question, I mean, that doesn't feel like it's been 3 years. It's gone by very, very, very quickly. But, I feel like I really matured and, learned a lot of stuff about myself through all the adversity that I've been through and, built myself into really a new character. And, I want to continue to grow in that aspect.
Dealing with that part of it, I know it couldn't have always been easy, and it wasn't. You don't have to detail all the setbacks, but people do tend to grow through adversity. What more than anything did you take out of as a lesson for whether it was being hurt or, having setback after setback or just transitioning into college football and college life that's hard and not easy for everybody?
Really, the biggest thing really came from the injuries, and I was just being able to, constantly bring, energy to the, the receiver unit and the team as a whole. Because, I mean, you could come in here with a bad attitude and bring, however many other kids on the team down, and it could really affect the performance practice game-wise. So just being able to come in here with that same smile on your face, no matter what you're going through, and, just being able to motivate everybody else.
Berm wanted you to give a food recommendation for people in Happy Valley. And you said, I don't know. I didn't eat there.
No, I didn't necessarily eat there that much. The creamery, though. I would say the creamery. They got some good ice cream.
Okay, well, I think they already knew that one, Julian.
Yeah,
that's not a great advice. But what ice cream flavor do you get at the creamery?
I don't eat ice cream.
Oh. So that's not even a good recommendation. You have to mean it. You got to speak from the chest.
I do mean it. Like everybody I've ever heard have been at the creamery, they love the ice cream. But I'm not. Yeah, I can't eat ice cream.
Why don't you eat ice cream?
Just.
Not for you?
Yeah, I don't really eat sweets.
Okay, none at all?
Not anymore, no.
Oh, what used to be your favorite sweet?
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be in your head.
Yeah.
You're going to really want it.
Nah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to tempt you.
Won't do it. Nah, I haven't had sweets for probably 2 or 3 years.
Okay. You go into the game on Saturday. You guys get there at 10. What's going to be in the headphones? You said you like to bring the energy.
Ooh.
Some guys like to hear a crowd, but nobody's there at 10. So something's got to be in the headphones.
Headphones. On the way there.
Yeah, what do you listen to?
A lot of different kinds of music, honestly. Definitely a lot of rap. A lot of stuff that's a lot of good stuff that I can't really really detail any of the lyrics or anything like that. But it's definitely going to be some upbeat stuff that is going to get me pumped up. But at the same time, there's still going to be some R&B in there, just to mellow out the mood and prepare myself.
How do you know if you need to get amped up in pregame or if you need some of the R&B? How do you? I know you don't want to ride a roller coaster of emotion. How do you manage the playlist?
Honestly, I usually started off, get hyped up for warm-ups, all that good stuff. And then, as we're getting closer to the game, slow everything down, bring the emotions down, kind of bring everything back to ground level and, really just lock in.
So I ask everybody, usually it's, the non-revenue, quote unquote, sports that come on and do these interviews for Friday. And they're like, here's your opportunity, name, image, and likeness. What deal do you want? The opportunities for you probably come a little bit more easily. I don't know if that's true or not, but what's a deal that you want that you haven't got?
Deal that I want. Gas. Gas.
Just want a gas card?
Yeah, a gas card. That would be awesome. I don't care where it's from, but a gas card.
All right, so you're from Pennsylvania. You just say like Giant Eagle or Get-Go or Sheetz is coming to Columbus. Like expand it. You got to have an actual brand.
Nah, I don't necessarily have anything I'm too locked into right now, and I'm just trying to be locked in on the season. But a gas card would be awesome.
Okay, Julian Fleming needs some gas. America, hook up Julian Fleming. All he does is score touchdowns right now, but he still needs to drive from place to place. So he wants that deal. Help him out, Julian. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate you as always.
All right, it is that time once again on a Freaky Friday edition of the podcast to take a look elsewhere on campus where there is a huge series at Value City Arena. The number 11 Ohio State Buckeyes men's hockey team welcoming in number 1 Minnesota. Huge Big Ten battle, huge opportunity to make a claim that the Buckeyes are ready to compete again on that national stage. We've got Jake Wise and Jaden Leslie in here. Guys, thanks for your time. Probably a pretty exciting week for you guys on the ice.
Yeah, it's been great. We've been so excited to get going. Feels like it's been the longest week of the year, but we're really excited for tomorrow and Saturday for sure.
Jaden, is there a different vibe for you when you guys know you see those numbers on the rankings and top 11 Big Ten showdown? Number one's coming. Does that make the week feel different for you as well?
I think there's just a little bit more energy and jump in our practices. Anytime that you can play a team ranked higher than you, it's always a great challenge. And I think we embrace that challenge and push ourselves even harder in practices those weeks. And we've done a great job this week, and we're super excited to get going.
I think jump is one of my favorite sports terms that only hockey players use. I don't know where does that come from?
I don't know. I think you just kind of hear it as you've been growing up. I don't know why it's such a hockey term, but lots of energy, lots of jump is just kind of two cliche words that get thrown around quite a bit.
I'm going to start using it in the rest of my life as well. I just need to show up to the podcast with more jump. Jake, what's going to be the atmosphere, you think, for people who maybe have not come to a lot of Ohio State hockey games and should? What's it like to go into the arena when you've got a showdown like this coming up? What's the energy? What's the jump for the fans when they get in that building like?
Well, I mean, I feel like first off, like hockey there's always action. It's always going, like it's not like other sports where you have that kind of downtime. So, like for someone who hasn't really been to many hockey games in their life, like expect like just a lot of action. Like we're always moving out there, and especially with Minnesota coming in, I think it'll be great energy. Like Jaden said, anytime there's a team ranked higher than you coming in, like it always feels like the building has a little more to it. So it should be a really exciting weekend, and hopefully everyone has fun.
Jake, I understand that your summer was a little bit busier than maybe some others. What is it that you were doing there with Chicago? How do those development opportunities shake out? What did you get out of it?
Yeah, it's such a huge part of my summer. So it was great. I mean, I'm so lucky to go out there and train and get pushed by some of the best players in the world. And I mean, I really just got to work on some things that I thought in my game that I could improve upon from last year. And I think so far it was really, really paid off. So I'm so lucky to go out there and really thankful for them.
Jaden, I learned something last week when I was talking to the women's hockey team about NIL opportunities and the lack of them for Canadians in the United States. What a bum deal this is. How can we get that changed?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm not too sure. I know there's lots of people working in our athletic department that do a great job, and they're pushing for us to maybe potentially get deals in the future. But as of right now, it's kind of one of those things that you're in idle and you can't really do too much, which is I guess, not the best outcome that you can hear. But at the end of the day, you're here to get a degree, and I think that that reward of getting a degree at the Ohio State University kind of outweighs a lot of those NLI deals that potentially us hockey players would get. I mean, we wouldn't be getting the big buck deals like the football and basketball boys, but it's one of those things that it's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to see in the future Canadians being able to, I guess all internationals being able to take advantage of the NLI deals.
So that came up because every week when we look around campus, I ask, where in Columbus you might want to have a deal, where you like to eat, where you want to hang out. So hypothetically, let's get this rule changed, Jaden. Where do you like to go? Who would you like to have an NIL deal with when your time for your time here in Columbus?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, you always see the basketball boys around the shot driving new cars. I mean, one of the dealerships would be pretty cool, but we probably wouldn't get one of those. I really am a big fan of Brassica. That's one of my go-tos.
Okay.
So maybe with Brassica, I don't know if they have any NLI deals yet, but that would be a pretty good one. I know the boys take advantage of Fox and Snow, so maybe a coffee deal there would be pretty cool.
Okay.
Just something like that, and then maybe clothing. I don't know. I don't really shop too much around here, but I know Lululemon. I like to wear Lululemon, but they usually take more of the pro athletes, so I'm not too sure about that.
Well, at least tell a couple of those places to pick up your tab when you go get your coffee or get a taco or whatever else. We just won't tell the Canadian government or the NCAA, and we'll be all good to go there.
And yeah, no kidding. I think Danny, our compliance officer, would be up me pretty hard if I tried to do that. So,
all right. Well, you're definitely following the rules. I can applaud that for sure. Jake, what about you? Where would you like to be hooked up with right now?
I mean, I guess similar thing. Like, would love a new car. That'd be great. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of unrealistic. I mean, I feel like a lot of the guys like to go to the Town Hall, like the restaurant down the shore north, and I know like they have the same owner as a place called Rebel that we get at the rink sometimes. It's really good. So something like that. And then I'd say a coffee shop. I mean, I don't like anywhere. If there's so many good little coffee shops around here, Alchemy Kitchen, I go there before every game. I know everyone in there, so that could be a good spot too.
All right. Plenty of options and a chance this weekend for everybody around Ohio State's campus to go down and see the number 11 hockey team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Jake and Jaden will be out there. They're playing number 1 Minnesota. That's Friday night at 6:30, Saturday at 5, Value City Arena down at the Shot. Big opportunity for these guys. They've got to get back to work, preparing for that this weekend. Thanks for your time, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, hey, the sound is off.
We're back.
Berm held that pose for the entire time.
It was exhausting.
Boy,
Welcome back to the portion of bowl predictions that you can hear.
15 minutes.
I like this show because it's so weird all the time. I am disappointed a little bit that we are not able to do this show from the comfort of our homes because the sound drop of Austin doing the Beaver Stadium. Wow.
You're not going to edit that in?
I might. I don't know. But I just want you to acknowledge that is your favorite in-stadium noise anywhere we go.
Allie and I were watching Penn State and Minnesota last week, and she was like, I don't remember this Lion King kickoff
that's new.
remix.
Yeah, that's new. Yeah.
A new thing that I get to hate about going to cover games in Beaver Stadium. I do despise the shrieking Nittany Lion sound. I don't understand why they're allowed to pipe it in to 150 decibels, why they feel like they have to use it for every first down or every third down on defense or whenever they feel like
Do they still do the We Dem Boys? Do they still do that?
Yeah, they play like Mo Bamba too, I think, which is like popular 6 years ago. Yeah.
That was the last time Penn State made some hay against Ohio State. The Buckeyes won 5 in a row against the Knicks, which is a program best against Penn State for Ohio State. They haven't played all that much throughout history. Buckeyes lead the all-time series, I think, 22-13. But
Berm bringing.
Good
He got a little bit of encouragement about a did you know stat.
yeah,
Now
I like
he's going to keep
I
doing
like
it.
It's important that we sit here and try to entertain and educate at the same time.
Okay.
I think America is going to get an education about Lathan Ransom this week, who has now emerged as a Thorpe Award semifinalist, as we talked about on Wednesday's Sock Report. Dose pick sixes.
My.
What is this game going to look like
Lathan
if
Ransom.
you think it's going to be close and all this stuff is happening?
Dose pick
Berm's
sixes.
score prediction's about to be like 59-52.
Dose pick sixes for Lathan Ransom on Saturday.
I hope America is keeping track of the math over here because
Yeah, man, these predictions are so bold. They're so spicy.
they're so bold that the math won't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Math isn't even important anymore.
Okey-doke.
Never has been.
All right.
Berm, you're going to like my last final
I
prediction.
like it already.
So it's going to be a close game, and Penn State is going to have the ball late with a chance to tie or take the lead. It's going to be down by 1 score and have the ball late in the game. Okay. And the game will end on a Cameron Martinez interception.
Oh, my.
He's playing well.
He's playing well. I think they're going to potentially play a little bit of dime in this game and get a 6th defensive back on the field. When they do, I think that guy is Cameron Martinez. I think he'll play some nickel too. I think he'll rotate a little bit with Tanner McAllister, but I'm envisioning a scenario late in the game where Penn State has to throw to try to win or take the lead. Ohio State has the extra DB out there. They confuse Sean Clifford, and he throws it right into the hands of Cameron Martinez to seal a 1-touchdown victory at Beaver Stadium.
But sometimes James Franklin gets in those situations and he should throw and decides to run like quarterback draws on 4th and 5.
4th and 5, yeah. I've seen that happen.
Well, sometimes you just should do what the defense doesn't expect. You know, it's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
Nobody was expecting that. That's
Nice job, Jamie Franks.
That's true.
Yeah, that was an amazing play call. One of the best I've seen. There's no way that Mike Yursich will dial up something that stupid.
He's going to throw a shot down the seam where Cameron Martinez will usurp it.
That's right.
If he usurps a pick, that would be, you have to write a 2,000-word story about that.
It would be the easiest thing I've ever done.
All right. I have, trying to drill down exactly at the number, I think there's going to be 7 total sacks by the Ohio State defensive line. I believe, well, it's hard for me to project exactly because I don't know how this rotation is going to work. I expect that maybe in a big game setting, something to prove in this specific against this specific program, that the best players might actually get to play the most amount. For Ohio State, we'll see. I couldn't confidently predict that, so I won't. Zach Harrison will make at least 2 of the sacks. JT Tuimoloau will have 2 of them. Mike Hall will, I think he's going to have 3. Those guys will account for 7 sacks. And that's
7.
So
that's how it gets to 7.
Does still add up.
Ohio State, America, Larry Johnson. Play your best defensive lineman. Period. Just do it. That's all I'm asking. It makes the most sense. If you blow out a team, and my final score prediction is going to be 45-13. I believe Ohio State's going to be on top early. If you get a big lead, guess what? You get to spread around reps. You get to rotate. You can see other people play the game.
Rest.
You can rest them up. You can let anybody else get on the field in the second half. Play the game out early, and then take it easy after that.
Usurp all the reps you want.
Yep.
You can usurp reps. You can let Cam Martinez do whatever. I don't think it's going to be as close as you two. We've made that clear throughout the week, but that's why I decided to throw that out early. 45-13.
I've said on Monday, I think it's going to be a game that is close, or a game in the fourth quarter.
With what you've said?
My prediction now is 49-35 Buckeyes to win, and that's where I'm going, 49-35.
That's a lot of points.
I just feel like you're going to see some weird things happen in this game.
It'll finally be a night game at Beaver Stadium by the time that one's done.
By the time it ends, yeah.
Maybe.
It
gets really dark very early the further east you go in America, so it should be dark by like 3:15 there.
That's good math. My final score prediction is Ohio State wins 31-24. It is a close game. It is a nail-biter. I think Ohio State fans will be sweaty because that's like what happens in this game for whatever reason. I don't think it should happen, but it ends up happening. I think it's a pretty solid performance for Ohio State's defense regardless. One of those touchdowns I predicted is a special teams touchdown, so it's 2 touchdowns and a field goal against Ohio State's defense, which I think is a fine day of work. But I think the offense, aside from the 4 big plays that I predicted as touchdowns, will have difficulty scoring at will against Penn State's defense.
I'd say that's the 13th ranked offense in the country or something, right? I mean, they're top 15, and Ohio State hasn't played anybody. I think that's above like 75 in offense. Some of that's because they played Ohio State, but this is going to be a test, and to feel like they're just going to come. To preface that, the way this isn't a test is if James Franklin just craps the bed, and I just feel like
it's on the table.
It's never off the table, but I do feel like he has a certain confidence against Ohio State that's probably unearned, and probably got it in 2016 on a fluke decision by Urban Meyer to run on a field goal without taking a timeout. That was clearly shouldn't have happened, and I think that's the only reason James Franklin still is the coach at Penn State, and I think it's buoyed him to have some confidence against this program. It is on the road. It is going to be cold. It is likely going to be windy. I just feel like you're going to see a game that's going to be...
That's not the forecast.
No, it's like 58 and sunny and nice.
I mean, sunny does not mean not windy.
But I don't think it's supposed to be windy.
I don't know anything about that. I haven't checked the wind patterns of El Nino, but I do know...
This is a math podcast, not a meteorology podcast.
I mean, it's gray here. It's going to be gray there.
Okay.
I don't care what the stupid forecast says, America. It's gonna be rainy.
All right, drill down. He's got a bold prediction about the weather.
It won't rain, but it should be. It's gonna be cold.
Ish.
It's gonna be super cold when we get there. I guess I'm just gonna stop talking now.
We're gonna head there later today. Wink. And we're gonna have some road breaks, some road beers. I think we're gonna have 5 questions maybe we'll break down as we open some cards like we did on the previous road trip.
It's a great time for America to give us questions that they would like us to answer. Don't you think?
Yeah, like it.
Here's your challenge, America. If you recall, last time Ohio State went on the road, we did road breaks from my basement. We just broke down 5 questions. It was about college football. It was about random things.
Our life.
Our life. This is your opportunity to get a little deeper, drill down, and ask us your questions. We'll pick a couple of them and run with it on that episode of Road Breaks.
Where should they send it?
Just put them right in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah, or mail them to Burns' house.
Don't do that.
Tell them your address.
Because we will not be there.
Yeah, they only have a limited window before they can send them. We'll also have the pregame live on Saturday morning, snap judgments obviously afterwards. Any other content that's ready for a beautiful
Friday
football
afternoon, we're going to have, or Thursday afternoon, you already watched it.
Well, you don't have to say Thursday.
Thursday.
That was yesterday.
You already watched the Bourbonology with Ian Moore, Ohio State's newest commitment.
That's a promo.
We're just, tell me
Still there.
Hope you liked it.
You can go back and watch it.
It's right. It's right over here on the right.
Tell me how that was for you. We'll have the difference with Anthony Schlegel on Sunday, of course.
Oh, on Monday we did the rewatch of Penn State, Iowa.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know, we go to Roosters on Monday.
Yeah, meet us there. We'll be there Monday at 11:30, and that's about it for the weekend, I think. Anything else?
Okay. Yeah, we're going to go cover Ohio State, Penn State. It's Saturday. It's noon. Hope you enjoyed some Freaky Friday bold predictions. It was a weird show.
Sorry.
It could have been weirder, though, I promise you. That's Bill Burham. I'm Austin. Goodbye.